Lucky Lefty Podcast, LL Nation, what's good? The ONORA boys, we're here. And we're brought to you by ONORA Whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey, ONORAWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do so
responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. Hey, as always, CFB Nation presented by Twisted Tea.
Right.
Hey. Apple Podcast, Spotify, audio edibles each and every day. Then YouTube, the thumbs up, smash it for us. We greatly appreciate you. Hit the notification bell. When we go live, you will know. And then, leave your comments. We respond to them all. That's what we do. It's Lucky Lefty Podcast. Subscribe. We spin it different. Left, usually we start with your 3 keys on a Friday. But last night, Plies posted a video of Marcus Freeman talking to his team. And on top of the video, this is what he had to say. I want to make sure I pull it up. He said, this is what's mind-boggling to me as a culture. We have a brother in position of power at one of the top academic institutions in America who produces NFL talent and graduate kids. And we are not lined up to play and rally behind him. I'm a fan. Marcus Freeman, Coach McCullough, who he also tagged in it, keep going with a heart. Now, Quincy Avery, who is controversial out of Atlanta, retweet what Plies put up. And let me read it word for word, too, because I want to make sure we get everything word for word.
That's right.
A great coach and wishing him the best, but no black kid from the city gonna be anything but miserable in South Bend. Now, I was asked about this on the recruiting show. And so I spoke. I didn't really get into the nuances of it, Left. I didn't. I just kind of stuck to it generally. And I've said, look, man, we are not a monolithic group of people.
Yeah. Well, that was the first thing I would have said.
And
well, we're
Quincy Avery does not speak for all of us. We went to the Ohio State game together.
That's right.
We drove together. We drove back. And driving back, because you had parked in my house, and you drove through a place called Chicago Heights. And you looked at me and said, bro, what's this? I was like, hey, man.
Nothing. It's nothing.
It's the Heights, man. It's the Heights.
It's where you at.
That's where you at. And that is the home of one Hall of Famer, Bryant Young.
Oh, okay.
And where he came from.
Wow.
So that kind of spits in the face of what Quincy Avery is saying, right? Chris Zorn.
We have tons of examples from guys from the city coming to Notre Dame and having a more than a tremendous time.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's the easy cop-out thing to deflect and say because of Notre Dame being, PWI and, an elitist sort of school. I don't like the association to where inner city black kids wouldn't find interest in having the amount of resources that Notre Dame provides, the experience that Notre Dame gives, especially the kids who haven't been able to be around certain resources and stuff like that. It would almost seem as if, we would be counter to what those experiences are, and they're positive things. It's not like you come to Notre Dame and you sit in math class all day, or even if that was the case, that's not a bad thing to do. It's something that could be stimulating to some people who
Mm-hmm.
like math. I just think the picture of inner city black kids not liking Notre Dame because of unexplained, broad, and stereotypical reasons, I just think it's lazy to comment that, especially not having a interest in going there, but also just to use that as the overall uh, theme to what Notre Dame is. And I think, like we said, we have plenty of examples of guys from all over the place coming to Notre Dame and having a great experience, coming to Notre Dame and being a part of something that they didn't give a lot of credit to at first, but once they got there, because they didn't know what they didn't know, got a huge opportunity and experience out of it. So I think, to say something like that is very clickbaitish. And I don't even think at this point, I think it would just be sad to generalize where inner city kids are at this point in their lives to think that they wouldn't want an experience like Notre Dame. Like, what do you want, an Arkansas experience? Like, what experience are you
Now,
trading Notre Dame's for?
see, this is why we're gonna give you no other podcast,
They're not
in
gonna
my
talk about it
opinion.
like us.
No other podcast covering Notre Dame is about to go into the nuance of this topic the way we can. Okay, because there are segments of the culture where Quincy Avery can stand there and they will say he's right. They'll stand there and say he's right. It's been a long time left. It's been a long time since Notre Dame has gotten a public school kid out of Chicago.
Yeah,
It's been a long time. I think they're going to get the Burgess kid
but
from
that's due to
Simeon
many
next
different
year.
factors, though. That's
No,
due
no,
to
no, 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 no. It's not. This is my point. Notre Dame, when they don't have the prestigious Catholic school pipeline in the inner city, because you have traditional football powers that are Catholic schools like Mount Carmel. Notre Dame can go get the best player from Mount Carmel at any point in time. Any point in time. Now, how they couldn't get the best player from St. Ignatius is still mind-boggling. But it's probably because the Notre Dame flag is not flying as high in Chicago as it used to.
Yep.
A school like Notre Dame has to put in work in the inner city. That's all it is. It's just hard work. All kids need to do is be exposed to South Bend in the campus.
Right.
It's really not South Bend. They just have to be exposed to the campus
That's right.
and Notre Dame. That's all. Corey
Because,
Minor was on with us the other day. He's from Compton.
but it also has to paint the picture of, okay, what are kids from the inner city looking for? Because you already saying that what Notre Dame's offering, they're not even interested in. And you could argue a lot of what Notre Dame is offering is something that they haven't experienced before or had the resources to go and see, or things they may not have known was there, right? But then if that's not what, because, if you look at it, it's a lot of positive. So if it's not a lot of positive that they would even be interested in, what would they be interested in, especially going to a school for 3 or 4 years? Obviously, we know football is the mainstay, but outside of football, what are you suggesting that they are looking for that Notre Dame isn't?
Can I play devil's advocate for a second? Because I would love to have Quincy Avery on the show.
I know I got to try to get my dog on, man.
To discuss this, because it's a
Let me
tweet.
check this out.
It's a tweet. And when you tweet something out, you're really not breaking down what you're trying to say. So if he is saying strictly from this is a place I want to live and spend the next 4 years. Okay. I'm from the inner city of Chicago. I wouldn't want to live in South Bend. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping 100. If I got the job of all jobs, and they were like, "Man, you got to relocate to South Bend."
Wait, you said the job of all jobs, though?
If I got the job of all jobs,
if you could be
that would be, bro. That look, man.
South Bend wouldn't be bad.
No, bro. I know me. I know me. We're talking about relocating to LA to support baby girl.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? But in doing that, left, bro, what I spend here, I have to spend more just to have an apartment or a condo.
Wait, in LA?
Yes.
Yeah. You can be paying.
You know what I'm saying? I've never grown up next to people, left. This is about to be a huge adjustment for me.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? I'm used to space, bro.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So that is an adjustment for me. I'm doing it to sacrifice because of what's taking me over. If it was just for myself, no, I'm not doing that.
That's right.
But for her, yes, I'll make that sacrifice. It would have to be something, man. You would have to write me a check so big. Because I'm coming from Chicago, bro. I'm upbeat.
Well, there's a lot of Chicago people in LA.
And you're pulling me away from ministry. It's a lot, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
if he's just speaking from that standpoint of people that grew up in the inner city that are not small town, there is a stigma for some people. Hey, I'm going to keep it 100. For those of us that come from Chicago, we have long heard about Indiana, its connection to the Klan. I'm just keeping it 100. Nobody else will talk about this. From Chicago and the inner city in our culture, we have heard about Indiana. We have been told, like, yo, if you drive in Indiana, once you get your license, be careful. These are and this is generalizations and stereotypes as well. Because just like Illinois is totally different in certain areas, Indiana is totally different in certain areas, left. There are certain parts of Indiana. Southern Indiana is totally different than Northwest Indiana. It is. But I'm just being honest about the stigmas that exist. These are the stigmas. Dude, as a kid, these are the things that we have heard growing up, right? So, yes, those are things that people might. I talked to a kid, big time linebacker. His brother plays for Michigan now. He is a senior next year at Brother Rice. Talked to him after he went up for a practice. He was like, "Nah, South Bend's not for me." Okay, there are some kids that are like that.
Yeah,
and that's not offensive. This is the thing. It's not offensive for somebody to say a particular place is just not for them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not. Quincy Avery is doing something, man, where he's trying to ignite something. And it's like, bro, stop. First of all, you're trying to hop on Plies and build something off of what he did. That's lame. But if we're really going to get into the nuance of this conversation, yes, there are probably some things out there about the state and South Bend that young men have heard or people have used to negative recruit. And dude, that's just, it is what it is. You know, that's why you have to put in the work as a recruiting staff to overcome that. Because Notre Dame has too much history with inner city kids that have gone on to be successful as Notre Dame. That's one of the dumbest generalizations I've seen anybody try to put on Notre Dame.
I mean, it's one of those ones that have existed but never had credence. You know, it's one of those easy things to say because of what Notre Dame looks like on the outside. And it's one of those things that people will be like, okay, I can see what you're saying. But at the end of the day, the whole don't judge a book by its cover, that sort of thing. But it does have some credence to it. We have had interesting recruiting cycles where we've not been able to get some of the inner city talent that we recruited, where we've some years we've had, some years we haven't been able to do it on the scale of other competing schools for championships. But it
Yeah.
goes back to us doing it a specific way that's not for everybody. Corey Minor talked about the specialness of doing it in a way that's unlike other people and not following the trends or following what everybody else is doing successful, and that's the the mystique that Notre Dame carries, because then you turn around and say, well, they're not winning with the guys everybody's winning with.
Mm-hmm.
How are they winning? And then that's where you get the divide of the haters and the people that love Notre Dame. A lot of people don't like you doing things that go against what's working for the majority.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a principle people tend not to like. So when you're already doing that, you already got haters. But then to be successful in doing it in a different way other than the standard, people gonna have something to say about that. So I think it is special that we've held on to that
Mm-hmm.
method, I guess, of being able to um, really just stick a middle finger to everybody else's strategy of how we should do things, even when it goes to joining the conference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm how tired of that conversation are we, just because we see
Mm-hmm.
a better way of doing it. So, in relation just to the comment, it's just like, man, I thought we would be better than that at this point, especially under Marcus Freeman and changing narrative and changing kind of the environment that exists at Notre Dame to be more welcoming, not only to recruited players, but just the impact he's had on alumni
Mm-hmm.
and the former players that feel comfortable coming back and feel more included. And, all of that matters. So for a black kid in the inner city to see, for instance, the spring game where all the alumni football players are coming back, maybe that is an experience that kid would want to go to South Bend for. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's like, hey, I got traditions and classes of guys coming back, and it's been 10, 15 plus years for some of these guys, and they still excited as day one to come back. Maybe that's something I want to be a part of from a brotherhood standpoint or whatever.
Yeah.
But the blanket statements of, the
It
whole,
is all of us left have
it's
had
just
to grow.
lazy.
All of us have had to grow out of generalizations left.
Yeah, that's true.
I just told you what I grew up hearing in Chicago about Indiana.
I mean,
Now,
we all heard
now,
I think all of
now,
us grew up hearing the
yeah,
Indiana stories.
yeah. But the fact that we connected that to an entire state,
Right, right.
you understand what I'm saying? We connected that to an entire state, and it's not fair. Heck, dude, do your history. Jackie Robinson and the way he was treated in Cincinnati.
Yeah, we
So now
as
do you call
Midwestern.
the entire state of Ohio like, oh man, nobody from the inner city is gonna want to go to school in Columbus? If it is. Let me tell you something, man. There is a segment, or like guys like Quincy Avery, that are so pro culture
That it's just automatic.
that it's
Notre
just
Dame just doesn't fit in
yeah,
that it could never be cool
yes.
enough
And
to
for
be
him,
culture.
Notre Dame represents
Anti-culture.
anti-culture, imperial.
CYO basketball.
Yes, that's what it represents for him. And because of that, he spouts lazy narratives and attitudes that are honestly dangerous. It's dangerous because I've seen like responses from Notre Dame fans to him And like I said, Notre Dame fans, in a certain respect, what he's saying is true, depending upon where you are, or
Yeah,
depending upon
it's
depending
very
upon the young man.
yeah.
Like it's true, but it's a bad generalization because of Notre Dame's history
Yeah, it's a
with
bad
inner city.
generalization for
Yes,
something that has truth in it, but
yes,
doesn't mean that it's solely pertaining to Notre Dame. Like this, obviously, hell, look at Clemson. Clemson before they are who they were wasn't the team that all black kids
right.
wanted to go to. I mean, come on,
As
let's
a
be honest.
city kid, I couldn't see myself.
Going to no middle of South Carolina for so yeah,
No,
there's a ton of schools that are currently successful right now that a lot of inner city black kids wouldn't go to until they
yes,
started changing the narrative. Like
yes,
Alabama, like come on, like
yes,
that's the most prominent non-friendly black school you could think of when football
yes,
was really kicking off,
yes,
and now you got every black player on Alabama. So it's like Notre Dame obviously hasn't went that direction per se. Not that that needs to be the direction they need to take, but they've still held on to things they believed in, which is fine.
yes,
And they haven't conformed to it through narrative perspective things that people put on them.
yes,
And I think that's good by Notre Dame by standing strong on that. And the people that go through and go to Notre Dame and get over the whole generalization thing, they seem to find things that they enjoyed about Notre Dame on a positive note,
yes,
regardless of what they look like. So
yes,
it is a hate it or love it type of school, and one of those places where if you haven't been there, or even if you have, it's just hard to explain unless you're there. You just
yes.
gotta just take it
It
in.
is.
It is.
I shared with on the recruiting show. I said, look, man, when I was covering Drake Bowen's recruitment, getting a chance to talk to his father, his father is a fantastic dude, right? His father is an educator, right? And his father, they're from the South originally, you know. At that time, they were in Northwest Indiana, but his father taught in the Chicago public school for like over 10 years at one of the worst schools, bro. Finger High School is like one of the worst high schools in the city of Chicago, bro. It has been for like over 20 years, maybe 30. And he said he used to take Drake with him to like practices and stuff. So Drake has grown up in the inner city, has experienced that. You can look at Drake Bowen like, oh, he's a kid from Northwest Indiana. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what really makes up a young person.
That's right.
You don't know the full extent of their experiences. He left there and went and taught at a prestigious public school on the west side called Whitney Young,
Oh, Whitney Young. Okay.
where people like Michelle Obama graduated from. You understand what I'm saying? So Drake had that experience as well as a young man growing up. So this is, man, look, you don't know, you just can't look at the outside of someone and not get to know the experience of that person.
Right.
You
Right.
you you can't,
And
and I think Quincy Avery is doing the culture and young men and young women coming up in the culture in inner cities a huge disservice by trying to put them in a box.
yeah, I
Like you
think that
don't you don't speak for them.
it's more reflective of you putting a ceiling on them than it is them having the want to go there. I'm sure there's a lot of inner city kids that at least want to see what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that a ton of inner city kids are just totally off the idea and don't see any value in it and just is like writing it off because that's how you're painting it. Because then it's like, well, why do we even go down there and recruit? Why do we even try? If they just have no interest in being in South Bend, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was a half-hearted comment, lazy comment, but I think we've moved past as a school the non-welcoming factor of
Hmm.
having different types of people at school. So obviously, I'm
If
sure
schools are still using that as negative recruiting, they're lame.
they're lame because
They're
that's
lame.
and kids are lame for thinking that's still a
Yes.
thing. I mean,
Yes.
obviously, it's Notre Dame is never going to be a HBCU. Obviously, I'm not going to act like they're just going to switch their enrollment, flip it upside down. But I do think that there's value that you can find by, you know, seeking out those opportunities and those options. But I think you do a huge disservice when you just take away the idea of the option.
And
When
see,
you're like, oh, you wouldn't like that. You wouldn't even don't even think about it.
and this is like Joseph King's, and this is like, yo, this is once again, he says if nothing else, he would be smarter. That's a generalization, man.
That's a generalization.
That's a generalization, man. Like Notre Dame
Because
is
of
not the
what?
only place that someone could
Yeah.
go to reach their full potential. It's like, look, let me keep it a buck. Man, I don't want to release. Because you know how you have conversations with people and look,
Yeah.
man, Justin Scott is from the west side of Chicago, man. South Bend just might be a huge culture shock for him. It might be too much.
Probably.
I'm just going to keep it a buck. It might just be too much. He might love Notre Dame. He might love Marcus Freeman. But the culture, it might be too much. He might be like, man, nah, I can't do this. And I hear people like, well, man, Columbus isn't like, dude, that you don't know what vibe people pick up when they go to places, man. Everybody doesn't get like, dude, I could watch a movie. Malik could be sitting there watching the same movie, and I could be like, yo, that was dope. And Left be like, nah, that was kind of trash, dude. Things hit people differently. It's just a way of life. It just is. I love Notre Dame. I just told you. I'm from Chicago, man. You're going to have to cut me a really big check to come reside in South Bend, respectfully. And this is the crazy thing, Left. The weather's about the same. South Bend is cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get more bang for my buck. The
Most
taxes
likely.
are better. It would be a huge advantage for me probably make that move. But the vibe, the feeling, and like, the tempo just being maybe a little bit too slow for me.
It would be.
Mm, I I can't do it. And because I feel that way, or because young men and women might feel that way, that doesn't make them bad people. No. Different strokes for different folks. That's what they used to say. That's it.
That's it.
That's all it is. So Quincy Avery was irresponsible. That's what he was.
That's right.
He was irresponsible,
I agree with
right?
that. Hmm.
Very irresponsible. I'm very disappointed in him because there are certain things that he said, that he has said, even though he's controversial, that I kind of agree with from a cultural standpoint. But this right here, grossly irresponsible, right? Clout chasing applies, trying to jump on his train and what he had moving. And it's like, dude, and I think Quincy Avery, doesn't he work with quarterbacks or something
He's
Left?
so funny. He's so funny. He put up a tweet of the last three recruiting classes we've had and said we've only had one inner city black kid. He doesn't understand what everybody's getting so upset about.
Once again,
Oh, man.
Just because you look at where, okay, this is why that's dumb. You came to my subdivision, Left.
That's right.
I live 30 minutes south of Chicago, Left.
That's right.
If you met me today, you would know I was from the Wild Hundreds on the south side of Chicago. No clue, unless I told you. You wouldn't know. So just because a kid's address says Oakland, Illinois, the bulk of his family and his culture could very well be Wild Hundreds. His parents just put him in a better school or a better football program. But don't get it twisted. He's very much inner city.
That's right.
Like don't get it twisted, right? That's the same. Any kid, a perfect example. Don't get it twisted. Cam Williams, you sit and talk to Cam Williams. Cam Williams is not soft. Just because he plays for a suburban football program, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Christian Gray, the family he comes from, devout Christian, devout believer, comical. That dude's from the Loop. Just because he went to Desmet, a prominent Catholic school, don't get it twisted. Now you're being disrespectful. Now, dude, Notre Dame has plenty of kids with connections to the inner city. You need to do your research. You would have been better off saying, man, Notre Dame hasn't had an inner city quarterback in like 10 years. Okay. Now we can have a discussion.
If he said that, I wouldn't.
Now we can have an honest discussion.
Yeah.
And I would have given the whole show over to Left. Like Left.
I mean, hell, he's right on that. I mean, Deuce Knight goes to public school, right?
And
So,
I believe he does in Mississippi, yes.
Okay, so there you go. He's starting off on the right foot.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like Doma Wap said his wife, dude, he said his wife taught in Robbins and Harvey. Come on, man, that's the suburbs. But that's inner city. Don't get it twisted. The address might say Harvey and Robbins, but that's inner city, man.
And even still, that doesn't mean that the best football players come from the inner city. The schools we're recruiting from with these kids that go to these high schools are good as well, just in the location they are too. Sometimes the leagues are more competitive. There's a lot of inner city leagues that are trash.
Facts.
Like, you think about Justin Scott's school. He's probably playing in a competitive league week in and week out.
The toughest Catholic league in the state.
So he playing at some public league would almost be a disservice to his level of competition.
There's no way I'm not gonna say there's no way he would get better and be elite. But that would be generalization on my part.
See, it's
Yeah.
But
so I had to stop myself. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a matter of the individual when you're recruiting. Now, these kids can come from all different types of backgrounds, but just to say that the best football players are inner city football players, a lot of them don't have great competition week in and week out. A lot of them don't have great technique going into a skill position way of form. You get a bunch of raw athletes. So there's a lot of benefits to kids not playing in inner city leagues and still being productive players. But I guess if this was a matter of having an edge because you came from the inner city, there's plenty of kids that have edges that come from other environments. In relation to playing football, yeah, they may not have an edge on life where they looking over their shoulder or whatever the case may be, but as it pertains to doing a job and playing football, there's all types of different things that come out of that. It's not no one perfect set archetype of a football player that can be productive for your football team. They all aren't coming from some terrible situation at home.
Yeah.
Super freaky talented. And you're saving them by bringing them out of that situation into something else.
So just take the 23 class, right?
Okay.
And I might, hey, Rico Flores. I know Rico Flores is from the culture, from the Bay. He's from the Bay. Gold teeth, and dude, Rico wears it. He lets you know, yo, that's in the city. Jeremiah Love, St. Louis. Just because he went to a Catholic school, yo, St. Louis.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Don Schuler, New Jersey. Don't get it twisted. You have to hear the story. You have to talk to the parents.
Where does he want people to be from? I don't
Michael
understand.
Bell is from Houston, Texas. Jaden Osbury is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Like, what is he talking about, man?
He want people to be from Believe Land, Cleveland Street Avenue, or some Zone 6 or something crazy. Bro, I don't understand what area codes are you suggesting fit?
He's trying to he's based in Atlanta, so he's probably sitting there focused on like small town, rural.
Yeah,
South.
where the hood's at? Yeah, where the
like
hood.
Notre Dame is not getting anybody from the rural South. Okay. All right.
That don't make your football team better than everybody else.
And that wouldn't even fit because the rural South is not the inner city, even though he might be looking at it socially and economically. Maybe. Yeah, that's why I said I need to have a conversation. That's why I'm not going to come down on him as hard as other people.
It was very open-ended.
It was open-ended. I need clarifications. I need to know where you're coming from, and then we can have an honest conversation. Like I said, if he has said, yo, Notre Dame really hasn't recruited
screen poppers or quarterbacks or
inner city, quarterbacks, or man, if he even wanted to take it to
D lineman. We ain't got an inner city D lineman yet. But I do think that doesn't always hinder us from doing the things we need to do. And what point does it make if we did do that?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the
theme I don't know.
The whole question is the beat.
Tyler Bragg. I've actually been to very close to where Deuce Knight and my dad's people, my family are from like right down there, dude. So Deuce Knight will tell you that he might live once again. You might live. His parents have given him an opportunity to have better. But I guarantee you, if you talk to Deuce Knight about his roots, it's Jackson, Mississippi. It's
I mean,
I'm willing to bet that, or one of the bigger cities.
He's not playing at his school that he grew up around. I guarantee that.
No, or where his parents probably grew up or went to school.
Yeah, he ain't playing over there.
So
yeah, that just shows you right there that a kid like that with because not every.
My father went to Hirsch High School, bro. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, this is when Cooley High wasn't a movie. Cooley High was actually a school in Chicago. Like, most people don't even know that. That's a fact. They closed it, but Cooley High was an actual school in Chicago. Like, the movie glamorized it, and it was a tragic story, but like, hey, Cooley High with Hirsch High School was, man, So, and my parents, my mother allowed me to go to school in my neighborhood until I got to third grade. And then she immediately bused me to a better school.
Yeah.
But just because she bused me to a better school, please don't think I all of a sudden got soft. Like I didn't come back home to the hundreds every day.
No, you didn't
Like I
come back
wasn't
home.
impacted.
You didn't come back home and go out and go inside all the time.
Right. Like I didn't come back outside. I was too busy watching Transformers, G.I. Joe, Spectre Man, and I never came outside. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. This is what we're talking about, right? Experiences in life, left. And the world has opened up so much. I know the world wants to keep us inside of our walls, inside of our neighborhoods, inside of our cultures, and inside of our ideologies, and not research and read and experience other things. But that's just not where it is in 2023, right? And if college football coaches and other programs are still on that Notre Dame, South Bend crap that they were spewing when Lou Holtz was kicking their butt, man, get over it. Get over it, man. Get over it. And that's not to say that there aren't factions of people that just have bad mindsets towards other people left. And that there's nothing you can do about that. You pray and hope at some point that love eradicates it off the face of the earth, but it is what it is, man. Like my daughter has been telling me, like, Daddy, when you come out here, love, you're gonna laugh at this, bro. I know you're gonna laugh at this. Daddy, you're so basic. Your palate is so basic. Like, you need to expand your palate. When you come out here, I'm taking you to get some Korean barbecue and some sushi. And I'm like, girl, I am not eating sushi. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. She trying to jumpstart you too fast. You got
Bro,
that.
But she is, but my pushback is my mindset. That's me pushing back. And she's trying to say, Daddy, just try it. You just never know.
You're being smart though when it comes to the food, trying stuff out this way in LA, only because man, listen. Okay, you go ahead and try it and then call me about 2 hours, see how you feeling,
What you saying, love? She's sending me off?
Look, not every wonton
I will say
soup
this. Every
is
pizza
delicious.
place that I see in LA, I laugh at. I don't know why. I see a pizza place and I just laugh. Like, come on, man.
We got solid pizza.
Like, y'all don't know nothing about pizza out there.
It's solid. We got, hold on now. We got Joe's out here.
Y'all got California Pizza Kitchen.
No.
That's
We got
it.
Joe's. We got Joe's Pizza out of New York.
Don't trust it.
We got Jets.
They got the New York. They do the New York style pizza.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll trust them.
We bring it out. We bring it out to the West. It ain't original, but we bring it out there.
So Harold is very prominent here in Chicago.
Harold's is out here in LA.
My daughter said it's trash. She was like, Daddy, I went. She was like,
Oh, got it trash?
It's trash. She was like, it's no, that's not it.
In LA, you got it. In LA, you go to Louisiana. That's where you go.
Oh man.
Louisiana
It is
fried chicken. That's where you go.
It is, I'm sorry for the Notre Dame fan base, because that is something that as fans, first of all, I'm not going to apologize for them. But as fans, I think at this point, 2023, that's a conversation or something that no one should have to make you feel or even like bring up. My suggestion to you though would be, look at it from all angles and understand, he's speaking from a perspective that might be minimized from his experience, and he's speaking from a minimized experience. You know, and when you do that, you get those type of statements.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you get those type of statements. And I haven't tried Jets. Jets is a franchise that Detroit style, and they're here in Chicago, and it's like, are you kidding me? I'm not trying that stuff, man. Come on. I'll try Domino's before I try Jets.
See, now you get disrespectful because Jets is actually good.
I'll try Little Caesars, and Little Caesars is out of Detroit before I try Jets.
The disrespect, man.
Pizza.
Piece of pizza.
Come on, man. I got too many spots on the South Side, tavern style, you know, eat dish. I got too many options in Chicago, man. I'm not about to try. I'm sorry, I can't try Jets. Now that is Andrew. I will say this: my experience with the Mexican cuisine in California has been positive. My experience.
You're gonna find that.
Especially when I went to San Diego.
My experience, the best tacos.
Yes, my experience was absolutely phenomenal. I will say that. But Left is making it sound like I just need to leave all food out in California and LA alone.
Man,
just
listen,
leave it alone.
You gotta know what you're going for. You go for your Roscoe's, your Honey Kettle Kitchen. You go for your spots. But you know, there's too many restaurants out here to just be trying anything.
Bro, see, I keep it simple, and this is why my daughter's like, Daddy, come on, you have to do better. I hit Roscoe's or I go to the Grove. That's it. I go to the market. I go to the market at the Grove, or I go to Roscoe's.
Great spot.
Great man.
That's a great spot.
Boy, that donut spot up in there. And then you got Trujillo's, the actor, his spot, great tacos. Man, the little spot with the nuts.
Yep.
Man, the Grove, I can stay there. I can go there every day.
You can't go wrong.
Fire.
Can't go wrong with the Grove.
Fire. Did I tell you I almost do? I think I scared. So I'm there, right? And my daughter and my wife are in Lululemon, right? And I'm standing outside. I'm on the phone. And you know how you see somebody and you think it's them? You're like, man. And
that's what it should look like.
Say it again.
That's where it should look like such and such.
Yeah, exactly. And I swore this dude was Quavo. And I kept staring. And because his people, like after a while, was like, okay, well, who is this dude? Right?
So it was him.
And it was him. Yes. That I forget the name of the restaurant, but they have like a nice white linen restaurant right there at the entrance. Right, like not too far from like the marketplace. And he was sitting outside, and you could tell like he was waiting for somebody for like a meeting or somebody or whatever. But it was funny because I was like, wait a minute, I'm standing.
Just be out there,
yeah. I was like, I don't want a red dot on my head, dude. Like I'm standing too much. Let me chill.
I was just trying to see if it's him or not. I didn't know, y'all taking it to a whole new level.
And then another time we're out there, like, one of the child Disney stars that are, now they're grown. They were getting a bunch of attention. At the Grove is always hot. Like you always see somebody at the Grove. Always. And I've never seen like a Nike store, Nike Town, that's always packed. Like even the one downtown Chicago is doable. Like every time I come here, I have to stand in line just to get in. Hey man, hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation, and those of you that were like emotional, hopefully we calmed you down, gave you a perspective of what Quincy Avery might have been saying, but we both wholeheartedly feel like he was irresponsible and factually incorrect.
Yeah.
when it comes to Notre Dame and the football program. And that's it. And that's it. Hey, when we come back, we'll get to Malik's 3 keys and get the predictions, and we'll let you guys go have a fabulous weekend, man. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. We spin it different. Welcome back, Lucky Lefty podcast, brought to you by Twisted Tea via CFB Nation. It's the T.
Right.
Each and every week, we give you Malik's 3 keys to a dub right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. And this week is no different. Death Valley, noon kickoff, Notre Dame faces off against the Clemson Tigers. Left, take it away. Your 3 keys to a dub.
3 keys to a dub. Us versus Clemson. Was it noon game? I think a lot of it that we talked about earlier in the week, it's got to start with Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman's got to have 3+ touchdowns and be a contributor to the touchdowns we get outside of him throwing it. I think that is going to be the best X factor ability we would have going into that game, is using Sam Hartman as the catalyst to get the offense going, because if he gets the offense going, we can score 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
If we're relying on the run game and Aldrich, we'll be around 28, 24, in my opinion. I think that Sam Hartman needs to have the best game of his Notre Dame career with this Clemson win. I think it seals up the impact you've had, and especially signing these 3 games, and what it means to us that you were able to get it done. So if I was Sam, I would want this game to be in my hands. It's very doable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of question marks at the receiver position, but we still have a lot of untapped potential, a lot more targets, a lot more chances downfield that we haven't taken advantage of, in my opinion, fully, especially with who you have back there. It'd be different if we had Kenny Minchie or CJ Carr first year back there, where you're not attempting things down the field as much, or you're not heavily wired to go one-on-one back shoulders or take some shots in the seam or anything above 10 yards. I understand that, but when you got a guy that's seasoned and, it is what it is, I'm not expecting to see us be skittish with him either.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not skittish with Sam Hartman, I think we'll have a huge chance to win this game. The second would be turn the ball over on Cade Klubnik. I think he's proven that throughout the game to get lazy at times and make poor decisions due to different reasons, and we have to cash in on that like we did last year. That's what separated the point margin of victory, was the onslaught of turnovers that we started to pile up on Clemson that took the heart out. This is a team you can take the heart out early if you get a special teams punt block for a touchdown, couple picks, couple TFLs, you got them. Mm-hmm. I think that's where this Clemson team is from a mentally tough standpoint, is that it don't take much to knock them off and get them to quit before the end of the game. I don't think it'll take much if we played our game early on. So turnovers on Cade Klubnik, 2 or more. I got 3 or more touchdowns from Sam Hartman. And then the last part is special teams. I think special teams played a factor last year, which may not have been shown on the stat sheet as big as some of the other highlights, but those moments in the game with special teams changed the game as well and got us on the right side early so we can continue to fight. So I think the hidden yardage battle in special teams is going to play a factor from field position. We just don't want to give Clemson any chance of potentially catching some fire or momentum and making it a close game, because we're giving them short fields, we dropping their interceptions or turnovers, or we're not doing the little details, and now the game 17-24 going into the fourth. I don't think we'll have success if we keep them along all game, but I do think if we keep a 2-3 score lead going into the fourth, we can say we cleaned them up.
Force them to play from behind, Left.
That's right.
That's it. That for me, Notre Dame needs to come in, focus, get off to a good start, force Cade Klubnik to play from behind. Because they want to slow the game down, run the ball, play action, throw the ball down the field. That's what they want to do. Force them and force Cade Klubnik to have to throw the ball. That's it.
That's right.
Which means Al Golden is coming. Here we go. We're up 10. Here we come. Yeah. He likes the airmail passes. Okay, Xavier watch. Here goes another interception. Like, dude, that is like the formula, man. Just go in there, start off great, get out to a lead, force them to play from behind.
I mean, you're absolutely right. The whole game is to be able to play ahead of the sticks, play ahead of the scoreboard, and they'll
Absolutely.
beat themselves. They don't have the mental capacity right now or mental toughness to climb back in a tough game. We already saw from Duke that they wasn't able to handle that. So we've been through enough tough games and we've had to pull it out. We've had to make plays on the last play of the game to win the game.
Yeah.
And we've been battle tested that way. So I do feel confident that if we are playing from a lead, we won't relinquish it. And Clemson is banking on playing from a lead or playing it close because
Yeah.
they know if they get behind 2 scores, they don't have enough in the tank to overcome that.
Yeah. I got Ryan Roberts, Mobile Irish Breakdown in the chat. What's up, Double R? Hey, man, rise and drive. Look, man, I'll keep it simple. Like the letter that was sent to the NBA, baby. I'm back. I'm back. I didn't even tell Left this, dude. This is an exclusive.
Uh-oh.
Left, do you remember we were doing the show Tuesday? It was the Tuesday show, the day before Corey Money. And I left you solo on the show for like, it was about 5 to 7 minutes. I dropped off. In the middle of the show, you guys know what I battled, went through this summer, treatment, everything. So last week wasn't Left new. Last week I went and got my final scan. Right? To make sure from like me, I'd say scan my body from head to toe.
Oh, like a full CAT scan.
Yes. To make sure that nothing was there. Right? So the results had come through on my phone, Left, in the middle of our show. And I was so nervous, dude, Left. I was so nervous. I tried to ignore it because we still had like a full show to go, like another 30, 40 minutes. I tried to ignore it, Left. And I finally text my wife to come down. Like, yo, I need you to come here.
That's right.
I need you to come look at these results like right now. I need to know like right now. So she pulled them up. He looked at them, you know, gave me the thumbs up. And then that's when I came back. So, you know, I'm back, man.
You back, baby, like
I'm
Jordan.
back. Hey, if you want Lucky Lefty to do 2 shows, if Left can do it, we can do a night show. Hey, I'm back.
I love it.
Let's go.
I love it.
I'm back.
We back, man.
I'm back, man. God is good. You hear what I'm telling you, Left?
That's right, man.
You hear what I'm telling you, boy? God is good, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, that's how you end the show right there. Damn.
That's you gratefulness. That's Notre Dame, dude. You get all these kids that get an opportunity to go to a place like Notre Dame, coming where they come from and bringing what they bring to the table. Because see, it's not just about what Notre Dame can do for them. When you get a Devin Butler coming from DC, he's bringing something to the locker room.
That's right.
He's bringing something to the table. A MALIK'S ZAIRE coming from Ohio, he's bringing something to that culture. Come on, man. Notre Dame is benefiting as well. Notre Dame's culture is benefiting. It's not just Notre Dame giving young men a chance scholastically and athletically. Notre Dame is benefiting as well. That culture is benefiting as well. See, I have a cousin that graduated from Notre Dame. It's down in Memphis right now. She's like 23, 24.
Damn.
She's dope. It's like, man, Notre Dame is just like, yo, just like Notre Dame should not be boxed in.
No.
In 2023. Please get over it. Get over it. Your prediction left, and then we can get out of here, man. I know. Don't forget CBS Sports Network.
Night game. Liberty's
La
undefeated.
Tech. Oh, you got the night game?
Yeah, Liberty's
I thought
undefeated.
it was 3:30. It's 6:30.
Yeah, 6:30.
Okay.
It's homecoming. You know, it's they got some good players over there. Liberty like what they do on offense, and it's cool because Liberty's actually a pretty solid college community. Like I'm learning about it now, but
right,
man, I'm really impressed with what they're doing. Conference USA got some players, man. It's slept on for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, man, I don't know what the NFL is doing, but this Will Levis slobber time is too much for me. Did you watch Thursday Night Football yesterday?
Did you say slobber time? Bro?
Oh,
look,
man.
Look,
oh, man.
You and I were not as high on Will Levis as other people.
You would have thought that Will Levis won the game yesterday. They even in the loss, they're like, man, just the way he is just so this and that and this and then making the check. They sat there and said he made a protection check to a guy free blitzing. He saw potential pressure.
Who was this, Herb Street?
Slid the pressure away from it, or slid the blocking away from it, and the dude came free. And they're like, oh, he just identified it. No, he did it wrong. He did it wrong. Throws a pick at the end of the game. Oh, I know he throws a pick, but man, he's done everything to show us he's the guy of the future. How? He lost.
Either way, it's just shocking how people don't allow quarterbacks to show who they really are. Right? Give him time, man. Just give him time.
Just let him play, man. Y'all
let him play. And whomever he becomes, that's who he becomes, man. But just let him play, like you said. It was some slobbing pause going on.
Cause I'm like, okay, every throw you got something to say, Craig. Like, come on, man. He ain't.
Oh, it could not have been worse than Collinsworth and Tirico on Sunday night. There's no way. I didn't even watch the broadcast. I'm telling you, there was nothing worse.
I don't know.
Than Mike Tirico.
You would have thought Will Levis was better than Patrick Mahomes yesterday. I'm like, listen, he's making basic things. They're like, oh, he's just throwing it flat, but just flicking it out there. I mean, he's just making it effortless. I'm like, it's a 2-yard game. What? He threw it out of bounds. What are we talking about? So I don't know if that's a narrative thing to try to get Malik Willis out of there or whatever, but
I don't know. 28-17 is my score left.
My score for this game, I got us hitting 40. I got us 40-10.
Woo!
40-10.
Hey, let me tell you something, boy.
Because wait.
If Notre Dame walks up in there,
what did Florida State get? They got 40, right?
No. Florida State won in overtime by 7.
No,
I think 31-24. 31-24.
Okay, let me change. I got us 38.
31-24.
38-12. Us.
Okay.
I got to kick a lot of field
goals. Let me tell you something. If Notre Dame goes in there and physically bullies Clemson again, I don't know if Dabo recovers. I don't know if that program recovers. I'm just gonna say it,
the nail in the coffin,
bruh. I don't know if Dabo recovers.
Yeah,
They might have to ask Notre Dame to forego their ACC affiliation.
they might have to.
Like, hey man, we cannot have Clemson this broken. Like,
Yeah, we
we're gonna
can't have Clemson so regular.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. You guys are gonna have to go to another conference, man.
yeah. It's about that
They
time.
if they do that, first of all, I would tip my cap to Marcus Freeman and say, man, I don't know what it is. You have convinced your kids about Clemson.
We put it
What's
on.
old boy? What's the linebacker from the program? Like you have your kids playing like Alvin Mack, dog. Like you the dude. You did something to my mom. Like that was you. Yeah, like
that last year was a great example of what fully playing well together looks like. And I think when the competition arises for Notre Dame in certain situations, we usually play to that level, but
yeah,
that was probably the first time we played beyond the level of what we bring to the table in good games. And this shouldn't be no different. You should be excited to play early. You whoop them early, you get to go home early and watch some other games. So I think it's a different feeling than when we went there in 2015 when it was a night game and all the things included.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of a, oh yeah, we remember what happened in 2015. We about to, okay, we about to put it on y'all, thump y'all.
And let's be honest, man. I can't count. Notre Dame has come to the table every time they play Clemson.
Yeah, it's not like we don't. It's just we
like even when Trevor came back early in that game, Notre Dame was
around
right there, and then Trevor was just Trevor.
He's 33-2, man. He's 33.
Trevor was just Trevor, but
he's 33-2.
You look at these Notre Dame Clemson matchups. Pretty much, even in the playoff game, that game was competitive early. So
2018 went to the wire. It wasn't until the last couple touchdowns he threw.
2020 went to overtime. Like Notre Dame has normally stepped up to the challenge. So I really don't worry about Notre Dame like being ready for the moment.
Right.
Like, they know it's Clemson.
I don't remember the last time we just went out there and just laid an egg. I don't remember that. I remember losses, but I don't remember us just being so out of it where we just got smoked and wasn't ready or nothing crazy like that.
Yes. And this is my opinion. Brian Driscoll's been on record saying this. Like, he talked to the Clemson coaches, and the Clemson coaches were more concerned about Notre Dame than they were Alabama. And you saw why in the championship game, because they beat the brakes off Alabama. And that was Tua. Like, whatever they saw on film, they were more worried about Notre Dame than they were Alabama.
Because you don't know what type of physicality.
And it took Clemson didn't take over the game until both our starting DBs got injured.
Right.
Both of our starting Julian Love got injured, and I forget the dude. And then Justin Ross hits one deep, and they hit another deep pass.
That was it.
Come on, man. That was it. That was the game. So, like, dude, I don't look at score. Some people just look at score and don't have context. Right? Because you can look at the championship game, the conference championship game. Notre Dame was in Clemson territory 3 times. Failed 4th down twice. Like, Notre Dame should have had a 17-zip lead.
Easily.
Period. Ian Book didn't execute. So do I look at the final score like, oh, Clemson killed them? Clemson didn't kill them. Notre Dame physically ran the ball down Clemson's throat the first quarter and a half.
That's right.
Right? They picked Trevor off like the second series. It's like, have context when you're watching the game, man. Like, have context. Notre Dame could very well pull away and win by 17 tomorrow. And people are like, oh, Notre Dame blew Clemson out. Like, no, that game was closer. That game was closer than the scoreboard said.
Living it, yeah, for sure.
So it's like, yo, ultimately, things go the way they go, right?
Yeah.
But like for the majority of part, my point is the majority of the time when they played Clemson, Notre Dame has shown up. Period.
Period.
Regardless of Period. Notre Dame has shown up. It's a big moment game, and Notre Dame, under multiple coaches, rose to the occasion. Winning, that's up to the team. That's why I don't bet. As much as I feel that Notre Dame is going to spank Clemson, I'm still not putting a dime on it. Don't trust youngsters, Left, and don't trust sports. Let's get ready to get out of here, man. You already know what time it is.
Petticoat, petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's pettiest story? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, petty story of the day brought to you by ONORA Whiskey at NORAWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey at NORAWhiskey.com. Yo, we can give context as Notre Dame fans. Man, Notre Dame was only up, 14 zip late into the third quarter last year?
Yeah.
Man, Notre Dame fans with no offense, passing game, was still sweating that game out.
Still sweating them.
Yeah, special teams got us on the board. It's like, dude. So you can sit up as much as we like, yeah, we took over mid-third quarter and just wore you down and physically kicked your butt. Yeah. But at halftime, nobody was sitting up here like, yeah, we're dominating Clemson. It's like, dude, regardless of the score, have some context. That's all. Just have some context. Lucky Lefty podcast. You know what I got for you, Left?
What you got?
Did you read this story about these two brothers that got arrested stealing oxtails down in Texas, bro?
Stealing oxtails?
They got arrested with over $400 worth of oxtails, steaks, and other meats on a traffic stop, Left.
On a track?
I had to put these, and one of them was wearing an ankle monitor, bro, which means he was already in trouble.
So you doing crime with crime on your ankle?
Now, bro, I understand. Hey, man, oxtails are expensive nowadays, bro. Oxtails are expensive.
You going to jail for the meats?
No, I'm not going to jail for the meats, bro.
You ain't go to jail for the meats, man.
No,
I'm
not. No, especially when I'm probably on house arrest already.
Yeah, you already took chances on your life with the meats. Now you going back?
Yeah. And then after I put them on the petty train, I also want to punch the ticket of this young man, Left.
Early on.
You know, defensively, I think he could impact the game without any.
Left, what is that? Man, ain't nobody doing nothing with that. Man, put that dude on a petty train. Where is he coming? Where does he come from? This dude is doing Steph. He's doing Steph Curry's dribbling. Did you see the stuff he was doing last night?
He's amazing.
Bro,
like literally,
look,
he's amazing. He's an
that
amazing
dude,
basketball.
he is petty. He is going to be an all-star as a rookie. I'm saying it
As
right
a rookie.
now.
As a rookie. As a rookie.
He might win the votes. He might get the most votes.
He might be in contention for some MVP talks the way he playing.
Hey man, that
he's making such an impact doing everything. Like he's got the superstar sweating on shots.
Bruh.
He blocking Steph. He blocked. Man, this man's crazy.
Hey man, that dude is an alien. And not only is he an alien, this young man.
He looks more athletic than Kevin Durant.
Man, bro.
And he shoots threes so
the three ball. Water.
Man, when I saw him off the break, bring the ball down and walk into a three, I said, "Oh man."
Yeah, and he's dunking thing down low.
See
like
what?
Stuff you thinking he's sky hooking, he's dunking.
Yeah. See,
dunking.
What has happened is he has
no sky hook.
He has figured out his game without having to be physical. He knew people were going to try and push him around, and he kind of had to deal with that and figure out how he can get his game going. See, this is the crazy thing, Left. He is 7'3" or 7'4" with Steph Curry's off the ball movement. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. He's running in transition every time. He run like he's young.
And he never stands still on the offensive end.
Nope. He's setting picks. He's rolling to the elbow. He's getting to the wing. Yeah.
And you know how lazy big men are.
Yeah, and if you sleep, he's running the floor. He's like almost cherry picking.
Yes.
And every time it's the big man on the floor that got a guard him that's all the way behind him. He got to get his shape up.
That's Hey, Doma Wop, I agree with you, man. I'm inspired. I gotta find somebody to make me some oxtail soup, bro.
Oh.
There's nothing better than that. Lucky Podcast. Everybody else, enjoy your weekends. Have a great day. Left. Be safe, man. Enjoy your Friday night. Have a great call tomorrow.
Thank you, brother. See y'all after the show or after the game show? Or after the show? Or after the game of the show? There you go.
Dude, you'll be prepping for the game around, because the game will end around 3 o'clock, 2:30. So I don't know. It's on you. But either way, we're definitely gonna give you a post-game show. Have a great Friday. Make sure you spend it different.